Hi, my name is Athena Fleming, and I lost my daughter Alycia Fleming to substance use disorder through an accidental overdose last year, and I'm from Brunswick, Ohio.
Thank you for coming out here today and chatting with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really important to me that I get out there and speak about my daughter, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you mind talking a little bit about your children?
Sure. We have 3 girls. Andrea is our oldest. She's 36 now. Alycia is 32 in heaven, and Erica is 30 years old. All girls. Never thought I'd have all 3 girls, but we were blessed with them. They're all wonderful. They're very close. Growing up with 3 girls in the household was a little devastating, to say the least. There was a lot of times where those 3 girls I didn't think would come out of the house. Some days there was the typical fighting and whatnot, but after you get through puberty, adolescence, and teenage years, it came down to them being very, very close. So with the loss of Alycia, it's been difficult on both of my girls. They do live out of state. They did live out of state when we lost our daughter, Alycia. But we're still navigating this new normal without her, and it's been pretty hard on everybody in the family, actually. But they're doing well. One's married, has a great job, and I have a great son-in-law. And then the other one, the youngest one too, has a job in Las Vegas and doing very well too. And we try and see each other a few times a year by traveling back and forth. And we talk pretty much on the daily or on the weekly. So It's all good.
Very good. So let's talk a little bit about Alycia. Like, what was her childhood like? What was that for her?
Alycia had a great childhood. She would tell you she had a great childhood. Like I said before, we were a very active family. She, out of her 2 sisters, she was our middle child, and she was kind of the typical middle child. She was really quiet, tried to find her place. She was always really clingy and quiet, a little bit on the shy side. But she found her own way. She was, when she kind of got through those stages, she ended up being the funniest, silliest one out of them all, and just always had a lot of friends, and a lot of people always gravitated to her. So she had a real typical upbringing. She didn't have really anything that stands out to be like a tragic within our family that happened. We were just pretty common, normal family.
Right.
So.
About how old was she when you kind of started questioning whether she was struggling with substances or not?
Alycia started probably around adolescence time. We did not know what she was involved with, and it's easy with a family full of girls going through adolescence to write things off as just, there's our daughter, she's going through puberty, and she's moody, and she's cranky, and she's irritable. And there was a lot of that going on in our household because, again, we had a lot of females in our household. So a lot of that, I think, we just attributed to that. We didn't realize she had any particular issue. We had not discovered anything in our household that would, or in her room that would tell us that she was experimenting with alcohol and drugs. Because I think it happened gradually.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe that, it started with, drinking and sneaking the drinks and with, marijuana use. And then it slowly became pills and, went from there.
How was your relationship as her active addiction grew?
Well, it was horrible. It was horrible. When she was in active addiction, she was like a different person. She was a totally different person. She was hostile and mean and irate and, really hard to live with and take for long periods at the house. And for me, I didn't have anybody that suffered from substance use disorder in my family. to kind of draw upon for any type of experience or knowledge to know how to deal with that. So there was a lot of anger between us. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of "don't lie to me." It was ugly. It was very ugly. And it wasn't for several years after she, continued down that road that I had to really take matters into my own hands for myself to say, I need to understand this. I don't understand it. I don't suffer from it. I don't understand why she just can't stop, so to speak. So I really had to learn about the disease of addiction and change my attitude, change how I saw her, change how I talked to her, because it wasn't good and it wasn't going anywhere but downhill. So it was miserable when she was using, because you feel so bad as a mom, but you're so angry at the same time. So there's just a whole flood of a whole different kind of emotions. And then especially since I had another child still at home, witnessing all this and not knowing, if I was doing the right thing or wrong thing, and, watching their relationship deteriorate as, young girls, that it was really hard. And then I was going through a divorce from her father, pretty much at the same time when things were getting really bad. So it was pretty lonely and pretty miserable, and I didn't really know what to do. So,
did you find a place or anything that you kind of were able to reach out for help during that at all? Like, did you have a counselor that helped you, or did you, have people in the community that were able to kind of help guide you through that?
Yes, actually I did. I started going to Grace Church, and a pastor there had given me the name of Stephanie Robinson. And Stephanie is a director at Hope Recovery Community and an advocate and in long-term recovery. And I met with Stephanie for a cup of coffee, and she said, "You can't do this on your own. Recovery is a family issue, and you need to learn about this, and you need to learn how to take care of yourself, because if you go down, then what's going to happen to your family?" And I said, "You're right. I don't know what to say, who to talk to about this, and I need to learn what the proper things are to do." So she gave me the phone number of Family Matters from Rob Brandt's family, Jeannie and Bob Brandt. At that time, it was Robby's Voice, and they had the family group, Family Matters. So I devoted every Monday night to that meeting, and that was the best thing I ever did in my whole life, is to understand and learn. And from doing that, Alycia and my relationship changed for the best there, because she really appreciated that I came to speak with her differently, to understand what she was going through, to understand it as a disease, to understand that it's not against me or against her father or against our family, that there was love there, but we were dealing with a disease of the brain that changed how she did things and how she thought about things, but not how she felt about things. So I was able to still see her heart and her love for her family, and hate that disease, but still love her. So that was, I love that program. I still trying to stay involved to help others know that, families need to support each other, and they need to know and learn. And we can't turn our backs on our loved ones that have this disease, because they have nobody. And so that was my saving grace, was Family Matters and Hope Recovery, and it was wonderful. I passed that information along and everything I learned to my kids and to my ex-husband, so that they could understand what I was learning, just so that we would all be on the same page, because it's really important for families to be on the same page. Yeah.
Always good to find that community to be able to help us, isn't it?
Yes, it's fabulous, and there's not enough support out there, but the support of Family Matters and Robby's Voice has been around for a while, and they're still going strong. And everybody I talk to, Alycia used to say, "Mom, you talk too much," and I said, "Well, we can never talk too much if we're helping others when we do speak." So, but she understood that. In these last few years, she was very proud of what I was doing to help others and to spread education and break the stigma and help families come out of the closet, so to speak, of, they weren't embarrassed of what was going on in their family, and they needed to not be embarrassed so that they could seek help. So that really was my turnaround, was finding Stephanie and being guided to Family Matters.
What were you able to learn from her addiction?
The biggest thing I learned from Alicia's addiction is to be non-judgmental over people. I could say that I was previously, and Alycia never was. Alycia accepted and loved everyone. She was a friend to a lot of people. A lot of people gravitated towards her, and I watched that. And it made me realize that we're not here to judge each other. We're here to love on one another and learn from each other. And she taught me that, because I'm more open than I ever was. I'm accepting of everyone now, knowing that, especially the hidden disease of mental illness, and a lot of times the hidden disease of addiction, because people try and hide that for the longest period of time because of the guilt and the stigma that surrounds that. I just learned that you cannot judge people. They're suffering inside so deeply. And so I try and carry on her legacy and be kind and understanding and compassionate and empathetic to people, especially people that are struggling from substance use disorder, and making them feel like they found another mom in me.
Did it change all of your relationships during that, or just with the focus of Alycia?
No, I think it changed all my boundaries. I think it changed all my perspective. Again, what I learned through family counseling is, this is a family disease. And even though, as I spoke about our other daughters, they have their shit together. I mean, they did. They were beautiful and A students and popular. And it's like, okay, you're good. And you're good too, right? You're good. Okay. So then I would focus on Alycia, not knowing how damaging that was to them. Even though they were able to persevere and rise above and keep on their path and do things, it still hurt them that every family occasion, every holiday, pretty much my daily focus was what's going on with Alycia. And that's where that family component comes in. And it's true. It was true. She zapped a lot of energy out of you because she needed that attention. To, like, how is she going to eat today? How is she going to live? Until I really understood that she had to learn to do that on her own and take care of herself as a grown adult. There was a lot of time and energy and over focus on her, and I've apologized to them. And I said, I'm sorry you didn't get the full me when you deserved the full me, because I was so drawn. But as a parent, you go where the need is. So, but it's good now, and they appreciated that I apologized to them for those years of chaos and not knowing what they really needed, even though it didn't appear that they needed anything. But again, appearances are deceiving. And so that's kind of what I learned from Alycia. Like, you just can't look at somebody and assume they're okay or that they're not okay. That there's still a soul and a heart and feelings and all that on the inside. So I try to look for that now.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Athena, thank you so much for coming out and talking with us today. I really appreciate it. Your story is going to help so many people that are struggling with someone in their life with substance use disorder. And you are proof that there's hope out there. So
Yes,
you so much.
there is hope. There's a lot of people that are in long-term recovery, and it makes me very happy to see that. And that's why I still continue to help and to volunteer, and so I can see that and cheer them on along the way.